Pressure ka?
Ina. At hindi ka nakakakape.
Hi guys!
Hello.
Hi everyone! We're live from our Otaku main store.
Hello, guys.
We'll just wait a little bit until we get more viewers before we go ahead and start with the workshop. If you guys want to tell us anything, you have any question, hit us up on the comments, okay?
Just don't mind me. I'll just start preparing my tools for the workshop.
I hope you guys can hear us okay. We have to wear our masks. We have to be safe all the time. Any comments, any suggestions, any question, write it down in the comments and we'll be happy to answer as much as we can. Mr. Scott Anderson is saying, "What's up, James?"
What's up? Hi. How's your paint job, boss?
We have Eloise is watching, Sylvester, Mr. Kais is watching right now.
Hi, sir.
Hi, sir.
I think we're ready.
We'll just let just a little bit more. Just a little bit more time just to spike up the viewers. And thank you guys for joining us today. I know it's a Friday.
Hang out with us on a Friday.
Hang out with us on a Friday.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can hear us just fine. So
Audio is good?
audio is good.
Great. Scribing.
Alright, I think we can start a bit. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining us today on a Friday afternoon. We're very excited. This is our first ever online workshop at Otaku ME. And if you notice, we've been asking you the past few weeks, we've been asking you what kind of content you'd like to see, what kind of topics regarding the hobby you would like us to talk about. And we're very happy to say that we will have live streaming as a regular thing here at Otaku ME.
And thank you for your support. That's why we'll keep doing it.
Yeah, so the live streaming will be about a lot of things. So mainly we have the workshops, the tutorials. For new arrivals, we'll be highlighting the new items. For any promotions or deals that we have, we will be talking about a lot of things with the live streams. So it's a really great platform. Right now we're live on Facebook, but we will be integrating Instagram in the future, YouTube.
Yep.
So you can see us like whatever platform that you would like to use.
That's going to be exciting.
And yeah, we have 35 viewers right now. Hi guys.
Hello.
Let's see who's watching us. So, Mr. Kais is asking. He's saying he's really looking forward to this because he needs to
Learn.
step up his game a bit from straight building.
Good. So,
Okay, guys. So we've been asking the past few weeks what kind of topics you would like us to cover. A lot of you was asking about scribing. So today we will be focusing on the basics. So it's introduction to scribing.
introduction, the fundamentals of scribing, practically how to start on scribing. And we'll focus more on the tools, how to handle the tools, how to create like simple lines still. And we'll start upgrading all the tutorials Just follow us, then you learn and progress together with us. Yep.
So yeah, just to set your expectations, there will be no like advanced techniques
Advanced.
that will be taught today. We'll start with the basics, so we'll go from there, and eventually we'll have more of these online workshops. So we'll get like to the more intermediate to the
Yeah.
advanced stages. We'll get there. So today it'll be introduction to scribing. And who better to teach you guys how to do the scribing than the man beside me? So if you guys do not know, this is my mentor, Sir James Kinsat, more commonly known in the modeling industry as TK07 MechWorks. In
Great.
2018, he won the gold for the GBWC Philippines, and in 2018 as well, he won silver for the GBWC World Stage.
Thank you.
And if you're not familiar with GBWC, it's the Gundam Building World Championships.
Yep.
So, Sir James, you like to say anything to our audience?
Keep supporting Otaku and me. Watch the live streams. Watch the tutorials. I hope you learn a few techniques here and there. But today we'll start off with the basics, especially with the scribing. It's another like a notch on your skill set. So let's start properly on how to like get those fundamentals correct from the start. So
Before we start, sir, we'll just
Yep.
I'll ask you a little bit about your history on scribing. I know you've been modeling for how many years now?
more or less 17, 20 years now.
18, 20 years. So when you started, was scribing a thing already?
When I started, to be honest, there's still no Facebook. Or,
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
still no a good amount of like how to say materials that you need to research on the internet are still limited, and a few guys are really hardcore on scribing. Back then, when we started, there is no how to say. There are no tools that is compared today. There's a plethora of tools that are available on the market right now that can do different stuff, but relating to scribing. Back then, I started off with this guy. Just to show you that. A normal alpha cutter, scriber. Now, this one is like, I call it hook type scriber. So it don't only do the cuts while it take that groove. As you go deeper and deeper, your scribing line goes wider. So there's a few amount of control on this. But now, there's a lot of scriber types already. Needle types. So when I started off doing on squares only. I started off on blocks, doing bases. I never really did scribing on my heavy scribing on my kits. So I just like put straight lines on my kits just to like connect like flat surfaces, because if I see flat surfaces, that's an invitation to do detailing, right? So just common lines, straight lines. So that's when I started scribing. But right now, scribing is an integral part of modification. So they do intricate lines. They combine scribing with flat plating. They combine scribing with rivets, notches, and stuff like that. We can go through that a lot more as we progress. But right now, we'll focus on the basics.
So you mentioned, sir, that there were not enough tools back then.
Yes.
So it was pretty common to create your own tools back then, right?
Yes. So basically, the common hook type scriber was one, and I progressed to this. That's a 14-year-old Hasegawa scriber, guys.
14 years old.
Yeah, and I still save my tools because they have like, how to say this?
Sentimental value?
Sentimental value. 14 years, guys. And still scribe good. I still use this a lot.
And who taught you before, sir? Did you just go at it on your own and experiment, or you had like a mentor?
The
back then?
first thing to answer most of your questions is a lot of you've been asking, how do I scribe? How do I scribe? The first answer would be start. If you don't start, to get your tools, the first tool that do a scribing, you'll never get there. So the first hurdle is actually getting a scriber. Just start. Okay.
Yes.
So
Learn from experience.
Yeah, my skill set is based on how I tried. I failed a lot more, but learned as I go and practice my scribing.
Mr. Kais is asking, will scribing on curved surfaces be covered today?
Scribing on curved surfaces, I'll try to like cover it in a way on the basic, especially on curved surfaces. It's difficult to go do your template or your guide on a straight line. So I'll tackle that in a way a little bit on just like doing the how to say the scribing guide, because that's the most important one when you're doing curved surfaces. I'll tackle that too.
Okay, so I think we're about ready to start the main topic. But before that, guys, we just like to make an announcement that by watching the stream, you actually have the chance to win a free kit. So we'll be giving away this high grade from the Build Fighter series, Try Burning Gundam. How you're gonna win it, we will let you know by the end of the stream. So I want you guys to
Stay
join
tuned.
us. Learn something, engage with us, ask us questions. By the end of the stream, we'll let you know how you can win this high grade kit. And we're very excited about that.
Okay, so one more thing to add to Paulo, just to like keep you to let you guys follow us more, is as you can see on the table, I have two Zaku origin. So every stream that we will do in like workshop tutorial, I'll be modifying this as my guinea pig in a way, and I'll be comparing it to the original every time. So you'll see the changes that we did on this and the original form. So as you join the streams with that, you'll see the progressions on the changes or modifications that we'll do, and hopefully you can do like kit builds together with us. Every time we do the streams, follow us, keep doing those like tutorials that we do, then we can both at the end of the tutorial we can complete one kit. Why not? Right?
Interesting question from Scott. Do you guys sell something that they can practice scribing on rather than buying multiple sets and like testing it out?
Well,
I think flat plates.
flat plates, that's why I have my like common flat plates with me right here. That's the first thing that I would say. Start with a flat plate, flat surface, get comfortable using the scriber that you bought. That's the first thing. Don't try it immediately on your kit. If your price kit is like your
quite
favorite
expensive,
one,
like a
quite
master grade
expensive.
maybe. Yeah.
But if you don't want to sacrifice a kit, I'd start off with the simple flat plate. Start practicing your straight on how to like use templates, different scribing templates such as this. If you get comfortable enough, then you can transition to your kit. Okay? And I'll be showing you quite a few of scribing in just a flat plate.
A flat plate, a simple flat plate.
Yep.
Before we get on with the workshop, I'd like to ask you guys if you have tried scribing before. Tell us a little bit about your experience. If you have any good story, interesting story that you'd like to share to us regarding your experience with scribing, please like hit us up on the comments. I know there's a lot of like modelers out there that is watching right now that already tried scribing before. Like, share your experiences with us. Maybe we can all learn from it.
Funny experiences, better.
So we'll start with the very basic, I guess. I mean, if I'm new to Gunpla or modeling in general, I just know that I like cut out the parts and I put them together. What is scribing? That's really foreign to me.
Okay.
What is it?
Scribing is more on like creating your own lines. That's for me. If you can see on a normal kit or in any kit like Gunpla, scale models, or any models, plastic models out there, they have their lines, right? So, For example, that's the panel line. Most common ones have, like the older ones or even the new ones have like flat surfaces. So scribing is in a way adding another layer of detail. It's not a layer, but in a way it's still on the same plastic surface, same plastic plane, but you're just doing additional line. For example, that. You're creating detail, additional detail to a flat surface, for example. So that is scribing, and it just progressed in a way through the years, especially now with Gunpla. It's like layers and layers of scribing. They do multiple scribing because right now there are multiple thickness of scribers. Scribers or chisels. So from 0.1, even smaller 0, to like the thicker or wider chisels. We call them like 3 mm, 5 mm, so they can do notches. So now they have a combination of lines. You can create multiple thickness of lines, and from that, if you go wider, guys do multiple layers and they add details inside those scribed lines. So it progressed into something like multiple layers of scribing already. Right now, they can add flat plate on the bigger chiseled lines. It's a lot of work. And as you progress, you will buy more chisels. And I recommend that you start with a needle or a simple hook type scriber. Then you start saving up, completing your tools. Because tools are not cheap, but tools are the ones that make your models better. Even on scale models, for example, like they want a reference on an aircraft. They're following an aircraft, but the model doesn't show the lines, so they create their lines using scribers. So that's scribing. It's adding layer or replicating the real scale.
Now that I know what scribing is, why should I? I mean, it's a personal choice, but why should someone do scribing? I mean, I can actually ruin my kit if I'm not careful. Is that right?
Yes, correct. And to be honest, you will ruin a lot of kits. Like if
Warning.
Yeah, warning. I did ruin a lot of kits trying to perfect or trying to learn how to scribe properly. That's why I keep just doing it. And in this hobby, I always say that there's no like error that you can correct unless you melt the whole plastic away. Every
Failure is the best teacher.
Yeah,
Definitely.
true, correct, and I have agree 100%. So, to answer your question, scribing is a skill set that, as a modeler, or if you're really passionate about the hobby, is a skill set that you need to learn.
Yeah.
So
if you
as
want to upgrade your
Yeah.
skills, right? If you want to do more, that's like one of the steps that you have
Yes,
to go through.
and if you see that clean scribe line, man, I'm pretty sure you'll be like really, really proud of yourself when you do that primer stage. Sand it off, clean lines, yay! That adds another like satisfaction on your like building stages.
Now that I know that what scribing is, and like you gave me an option of why I should scribe. Difficulty level, like, is it a challenge? Can I get on with it like really fast, or is it a skill that I really have to develop in time?
Scribing is a complicated technique. If you really want to learn scribing, you have to focus on one, tools. You have to learn how to handle.
You need to have the right tools.
Yeah, right tools. You can start off with the simple one and start practicing with, for example, an X-Acto knife, reverse blade. Do it as a scriber. Just use a guide. Start scribing. That gives you the opportunity to learn on how to handle properly. Okay, so that, or you can. Most of you guys, hopefully you have our basic tool sets already. That actually had like a pointed scriber in it included. I've used this a few times. It actually can help this one. I hope you guys have this one.
By the way,
basic
guys,
toolset.
this is our basic Otaku Emi basic tool set.
Yeah.
Available online and at our store.
So
Pretty much everything you need, like the basic ones.
Yes, you
Mhm.
can start practicing with this. If you already have the basic tool set, that's a good pointed scriber. And I can actually say that it's almost as good as the Hasegawa Tri tool. You see? That's the Hasegawa. That's the Otaku MA basic toolset. So I can actually like do scribe with this already. So there you go. Proper handling of tools, the tools that you're using, knowledge of the tools, and third would be your guides. It's either a ruler, a template, or the scribing guide tapes. We have from Sujiburido, we have from Wave. There's a lot. Or
Now, I'm not sure if they can see all of this, but Sir James actually brought like a lot of tools from his own collection. Some from his own collection, some from Otaku ME. And sir, show us some of the tools that we need when we want to like start out in scribing.
Okay. So, the most basic one for scribing is, as I said, is the hook type scriber. The alpha, we have this also available, but this is too thick. Okay? That's the second one, Hasegawa scriber also. Hook. So the deeper you go, the wider it creates your lines. I'll try to do some sketches to like explain as a hook type. And the most common ones, popular ones right now, the most usual are BMC,
Yes.
right? The guys are doing. There you go.
Can you remove the cover so they
Yep.
can see better? There you go.
So different thickness. These are chisel types. BMC chisel. I also have the Madworks. There are chisel types too. Okay. They are the same as like BMC, but the steel is different. So my most common one and my favorite is this. The Hasegawa pointed one too. Because I can do fine lines for 144 scale aircraft and I can transition to 1/100 easily. Okay, so that is my go-to scriber. And of course, BMC chisels just to like go into like different thickness and widths of lines. I go with this combinations. So we also have that actually in Wave. So if you want to start, guys, in purchasing or investing in scribers, I'd really recommend the Wave sets. They are good. They are almost the same as like the BMC. These are these ones. Okay, you can start with this, and they are I can say that they are a starter chisel, but when I use them, man, they really do lines well, like BMC level. So that.
By the way, sir, how long did it take you to get this much like tools just for like this is just for your scribing tools?
Yes.
Not to mention your paint brushes,
Yes.
your paints, your knives. How long did it take to actually get to this point?
Took me years. So when I started 14 years ago with just one scriber. So 14 years ago, 18 years ago, 4 years, no scribing. 14 years ago, started with hook types. So as I progress my skill set, I want to learn more. And when they started releasing the Hasegawa brand, this guy, that is a sanding black, which is I like to sand off your. I already have it. So then Godhan came to the market with different chisels.
The Godhans, yes.
These are good. Like this can do round chisels to do like machine gun notches on the head, flat chisels also they have. So they have a lot. So it took me years actually, because chisels are one expensive.
They are.
Yeah,
But just to get this straight,
I
If
didn't
you-
buy them all in one shot.
yeah, you didn't
So,
buy them all in just this took years.
So you build up your what I was saying is, what I meant to say is, I built up my collection of tools as I built up my skill set. So
Exactly.
if I outgrow my tools, I modify or upgrade to my tools.
Exactly.
So it took me years.
So if you're just starting out, you don't need this yet.
Yes.
Start with the basic one,
Needle.
the needle type.
Yeah,
yes.
needle type, this one will go a long way. Or you can invest in like, that's what I said, the chisel type with wave. Sorry, there you go. Or this one by Hasegawa. Start with those two, you'll never go wrong.
We have a question here, sir, that I think would go well with, in terms of we were talking about tools.
Yeah.
Can we talk about like the guides, like, because we have a question from Avelino, like he doesn't have a guide tape. What other things can he use
Okay.
aside
One,
from a guide tape?
Guide tape is the more important one, because especially when you're handling smaller parts, I'd recommend like really investing on a good guide tape like Daimo, Shujiburido, Scribing guide tape, Wave guide tape, have them. Guys also use masking tape for, and
You can, right?
they
Yeah.
can use masking tape, but it takes skill. Like it's not that I don't recommend it. Most guys usually can do scribing on with a tape, just a tape, because you just want like a guide. The thing is, how you do or hold your tools, that matters when you're using the normal like masking tape. But yeah, it takes practice. If you don't have like a tape, I'd recommend like investing on, for example,
Yes.
like scribing, guys. These are
Template.
flexer templates,
Mhm.
right? So this one I actually can use and use that. See, I can immediately like use that.
That makes it so easy. I think
Yeah.
I can do that. Like, I see, it
True.
makes it a lot easier.
True. See that. But most common ones also like the guys that do perfect lines. Sometimes they do tape this one, Paolo.
Yes,
They
just to
tape
make
this one,
sure.
and so they can hold it properly when
I
they're
think
doing
it
that.
makes sense, sir, because like if you move it just a little
Yeah,
bit, it's
will-
hard to
yeah.
actually put it back the,
See?
the exact way
That's
that it was.
the issue that I have with this, because they tend to move around. So my tip for this, if you have the scribing guide, is tape. You tape them. Second is the ordinary. Where is my T-square?
There you go.
Okay, see, that's, I can hold that properly already. This is when you're doing 90-degree lines. See, I can do this, and I can do vertical lines just using a T-square. Okay, clear? So as long as it's still good, because what you don't want is if you're using a plastic ruler, is you're scribing the ruler already, you're shaping up plastic, and that will
You're
create
destroying
destroy.
the tool.
And a lot of modelers actually, this is the third option, flat plates.
You can use
You
flat
can
plates
use
as
flat
well.
plates, okay? So you can use square flat plates as long as they are like straight. Cut them straight. You can use them as guide, okay? So
And you
there
still
go.
suggest that they tape it, just
Yeah,
so it's
as
sturdy.
long, yes. One, if the parts, for example, are smaller and you don't have like a tape, my suggestion is put them down, put it on a blue tacks or like a vise, and you can hold them. So one more thing that is getting popular right now, and I think most of you guys saw also, like Tim used this one. Child of Mecca, shout out, man. So he used jigs. So plastic flat plates, T-jigs. You call it scribing jigs. Most of us use this to like create your lines. For example, that I create my jig like L angle. So you'll just know how many. For example, this is 3 mm, 5 mm, 1 mm. You can progress, cut it, and I have a jig already. See how comfortable that
how
would be?
easy that is. Exactly.
You have that as a clamp, and that's a jig, a scribing jig. From flat plates, you can fabricate your own. I do fabricate my own, and it just got popular right now. And I've seen Tim also like did a live stream just for that.
Avelino made a follow up.
Yeah.
So he was the one who asked that he didn't have a scribing tape. I mean, a scribing guide.
Okay.
He used electrical tape, but apparently it turned out to be a mess.
Electrical tape are flimsy one because I tried that too earlier year. See, now you're learning. That's
Yes.
still okay, sir. Don't regret using like an electrical tape. We all do, but the tendency with electrical tape is it bends as you put like force. What you're using is if you're doing, for example, this is the electrical tape. What you need is a sturdy guide, right? And if you're pushing on this, the tapes will bend, and you don't want that. That's why we recommend a scribing tape, or like the normal masking tape they can do, but what maybe I can suggest is do light strokes on like your chisels. Like when you're holding a pencil, you're just drawing your lines. Draw your lines, multiple pass 7-10 times. Just be patient until it creates that groove. Then you don't have to worry about the masking tape. You can do it on a pre-hand if you want to. Just be patient on your first pass. Most common mistake when scribing, the first mistake is they want to scribe. They immediately force it down on the plastic, which is especially on a hook type. Once you get hooks on that, what happens is if you put too much force,
It won't.
Yeah.
It won't cut straight.
it will cut straight, but the scriber is skipping
It's not smooth
because
yeah.
it's actually like eating on your plastic, like you know, a cat scratching.
Yeah, that's
Like a
basically
wood-
what they're
that's
doing.
basically what you're doing. What you want is light passes. Be patient until it creates that line, that groove. Then you can immediately like put just a tad of pressure to create like an even line. Okay.
How do you know if you've gone too deep on a line? Like if you're creating like a straight line.
Okay.
What's
Literal one is if you cut your plastic in half, you've gone too deep.
Yeah.
Like,
So do it again and
I've done that multiple times. Like, yeah, I want this deep because I want to like create layers. You keep scribing. Plastic split. That's too deep. So, my tip is count your passes.
oh, counting it.
Counting your passes, especially on like smaller, bigger ones, you count because that creates your mental practice.
Yeah,
You're
actually,
practicing.
You can
your-
apply that to your future builds.
Yeah.
Like you know, like how thick like
Yeah.
3 passes is, 5 passes is.
Counting in a way makes it how to say. Given an example, I'd say when you're dancing, you're counting.
Your rhythm.
Your rhythm, you're
Yeah.
counting. If you're counting,
Everything's a rhythm.
yeah. If you're counting your scribe lines, your scribing strokes, you're actually like putting it as a muscle memory.
Oh yes, yes.
So you'll know practically on how to stop on your first pass. I'll do my like 3, 4, 6 light passes. And I know already that I can take out my masking tape from my 6th pass.
And
During-
that's what you want to get.
Yes, it's muscle
Yeah.
memory. It's just practicing drilling your hands, your fingertips, or your mental when you're doing scribing. For example, me, I like to do is do 3 light pass this way. I switch my parts. Then I flip my parts. Then do like 3 passes again. Then I'll go deeper. like putting much pressure on the 7th until 10th. Then if I'm doing notches, if I want multiple levels of like scribe lines, I know already that I go light on my first 3 passes, so I can go deeper on the next level. So, but that's another like topic. So, what do you wanna like learn?
We'll just say hi to Francis.
Hi, Francis.
Nahanam. Otaku and me, I miss going to your store in Dubai.
Yay,
Come visit us
We're
anytime,
open.
man. We miss you too.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe we can go ahead and
Do some drills, right?
Do some drills, yes.
Okay, let's do some drills. But first, I want to like do some quick sketches on how you can understand scribing more using your different tools. Okay, so I'll try to explain a needle. A needle usually is this. A needle scriber do that, right? This is my plane. You can see it clearly, guys? So that's my plastic, right? When you're scribing with a needle, remember that you can do fine lines at the tip. And as you go deeper, your lines gets wider. That's needle. Needle scriber, okay? With a hook type is the one that I described, this one. It is the same as a needle, but I'd rather do this for like use it for flat surfaces. I've experienced that they're not really good for curved surfaces. Curved surfaces, my go-to like scribers are needles because I have more control on like rotations and stuff like that. And when you're doing curved surfaces, like for example this one, right? That's my scribing guide. If I put a line here, that's actually not a straight line. You're doing it on like curve.
Mm-hmm.
So what we intend to do, like when we're cutting our scribing guides here, is we intently do a curve guide to like create a straighter ones here. So my guide would have to be curving that
So
way.
your perspective is actually
Yeah.
different if
Yes.
you're
See?
doing it in a flat surface and in a
Yes.
curved surface.
Yes.
So you have to be
So-
careful. Yeah.
So not stay off like on these lines, but when you're doing curved surfaces, as Mr. Kais was asking, it is difficult because you'll have to be mindful on the line. So what we usually do when we're doing that is we create our like sketches initially.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll do like a guide. Then I'll see it. I can replicate it on my scribing tape. So I'll cut like a prefab masking tape just for a curved line. Well, that's my approach. There are like multiple ways to approach a curved surface. But for now, we'll start with flat surfaces.
We'll
okay?
start with the
So going
easier
back,
one, I guess.
yes, going back, needle is your go-to with curved surfaces and flat surfaces. It's good. Hook types, bases, flat surfaces, they're good. Chisels. Chisels are this. When they cut, chisels cut like this. Right? So there's a fixed width already. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Okay? So as you progress, most common ones that they use for like gunpla is 0.2, 0.1, 0.3 you can do even. So I'll start maybe doing some drills.
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Some basic drills that they can actually practice at home.
Okay. So I have like a panel line accent color so you can see this one. So first I'll try this, okay? So you can see multiple lines here. Oops. Sorry.
Mr. Kais is asking, do you always draw scribing lines on the parts first, or do you just go straight at it with the scriber?
personal preference, I don't draw,
Mm-hmm.
but it helps create like that mental note if you like sketch on your
Yes, like a
your
guide.
yes.
Exactly.
You can see those lines. See how thick that is. So let's see.
Can you explain to them why you're putting panel line
So
accent?
they can actually see
How thick?
how thick it is.
Mm-hmm. It helps you, sir.
Yeah.
It guides you.
See? That's a thick cut from this one. So if you're using this for a 144 scale, actually, that would be not a panel line, but a panel separation already
Yes.
in scale. Eh?
Because you have to consider the scale. Everything has to be in scale.
See, I have my groove already there. I'm not even using like a guide already because I know that I have my lines already in check. Okay?
Mhm.
And one thing I've noticed when scribing is every individual has their own pressure.
Yes, some are more heavy-handed than others.
So, and sometimes when they're doing their scribing, what I've noticed with the guys that I've taught scribing is their technique is when they start here, for example, then they go midway, they go deeper midway. So, this is actually wider than when they started. So, common practice is learn how to like flip, do that side too. So it's even lines.
So
every time.
they have to be consistent on
Yeah.
the pressure
Yes,
that they
so-
apply.
Yes, when they starting, it's less pressure. Go midway, they tend to like go heavy, so their lines are going thicker. So that's a common mistake. And I remember Joshua Dara during her workshop also like mentioned it. Joshua Dara, hi man. So he actually do his scribing technique from the middle going outwards, middle going outwards.
That's an interesting take on it.
It is. It is. I've never done it. It's
Seems
clear.
harder as well.
In a way, his technique is, he said, like, it helps his line cleans. And I agree, his line is clean.
Yes.
Some guys, like, really do perfect, like, scribing. Joshua is one of them. And we also have, like, during competition, like, guys do perfect lines. As I said again, pido. So follow that guy. And he can do clean lines actually without using any guide, man. So he can do scribe lines just doing freehand. So
So
salute to the guy.
It's safe to say that you really have to try it out so you can find
Yeah.
your own technique, your own way of doing it, because everyone has like
Yes.
different comfort
And
level.
As I said, I saw him start scribing just at the back of his
Nice.
exacto knife. That's his scribing before. Then and as we talk, he invested on tools. So there you go. He's one of the best scribers for me. See, that's the hook type. Then I transition to this one, right? I'm just doing lines, so I'll compare it to you. That's the second one. See, every time I have my, this is the Hasegawa tri-tool scriber. Light pass. I'm not even using pressure. It's just like pencil drawing my sketches.
Patience is the key.
Yeah, so that's my fourth or fifth already. Yep. When you scribe, you can actually feel. One tip is if you feel that you're scribing, when you're scribing is your scriber is skipping, you're putting too much pressure. You want your scriber gliding through the plastic or the part that you're scribing. And boys, don't put any lubricants or anything like that. No. So
No oil.
no.
No.
So there you go. So comparing to that alpha line, the hook type to the pointed one, that's a finer line. And remember, when you're scribing, please, when you're scribing, just don't leave your scribe lines. When you're scribing already, one very important thing is when you're scribing, guys, as you go deeper, there will be plastic flashes here. Okay? Those are the raised one when you're doing one. You want to sand those one off. You want to take those out by just simply sanding it. You sand because this will be ridges. When you're painting, you will visibly see those. So if I sand those off,
Just like that.
then use your common, like, busted brush.
Just to clean it off.
I'm good. I think you can see how thick that line is. Okay. So that's a pointed needle. Last, I'll do like a chisel. So I can show you. That's a 0.2 chisel by Wade. Okay. I was using a needle, then I'm gonna use a fixed width chisel. Okay. Same as BMC, same as I want to say MadWorks or any type of like flat chisels. Let's do this. Okay, again, light passes. Hold your templates, light passes.
Anupong is asking, can I know the modeler who is teaching? The name of the modeler. It's James Kinsaat. More commonly known as TK07 MechWorks
Hey,
in the
Anupong.
modeling industry.
Nice to meet you, man. You're the GBWC champ too. Thailand. Have a great time in Australia. Take care, bro. And you follow Anupong too. He's great in scribing. He teaches like courses too. See? I don't have my guides already. I went deep. That's it.
He said, "Oh, you know me."
Of course.
Mr. Kais, do you get the flashing only with pointed scribers, or do chisel types also result in flashing?
All.
All.
So you need to do the cleanup. When you're scribing, you'll have to do all the cleanups after you do your scribing. So, see the difference between that's this. How thick it is. That's the alpha. That's a pointed scriber, and that's a chisel point 2. So you can see the difference between the pointed one, which I had more control in widths, and this has a fixed width of 0.2 all the way through. So let's do some, okay. Important thing is, one, is how you hold your chisels. Multiple chisels have like multiple holders. Like this one I like because it's thin, because tiny hands. So most guys, especially with BMC, have their holder like this. It keeps it like from rolling on your table. One horror story, you don't want to get stabbed with a 0.1 scriber.
Oh no.
Yeah, happened on my toes. So be careful with scriber, like rolling on your table directly on your toes, and that hurts. So important, I was going back, it's important that you go with your comfort holders. Every holder have their like different techniques. It's personal, so it's different on how you hold a pen. Every individual have like a different.
Yes. You need to find your own comfort on it. Yes.
Yes. So practicing it on what I'm doing right now gets you comfortable on how to hold your scribers. Okay. Mostly with BMC, I hold them just plainly without their holders. I like them like this. I'll show it now. Let's go with a 0.4, for example, just BMC. Okay. With that. Okay, I hold my BMC supporting this one because they tend to like break here sometimes. So I go there, put there. See, that's a 0.4, guys. That's wider already. Okay. So from these lines, I can go even wider actually. Like you can use, where's my wide chisels? That's a 2.0. I can, once you progress and you have more tools, like more thickness of tools, widths of like chisels, you can actually combine them already in lines. So that I'll do now. I'm gonna use 1.2 instead. I can actually do a notch.
If some of our viewers are confused, the notch is for
Like a line, a notch. Usually you
design purposes.
Design purpose. Usually you can replicate. A notch is where they put latches in real
yes,
vehicles, where they put the locks, rivets, and stuff like that. Then I'll use a 0.7. See? Now let's clean that off. You can see I actually like combined two chisel widths already in one line. Just on the practice line. That's the 0.7. I use a 2.0 to like create a chisel indentation, then clean it up with a 0.7. You want a clean line, actually, a clean notch here. So most of the guys actually like go wider. What some of the guys do wider here, and they can actually like insert flat plate, like a strip, like an antenna mount or something. They can do that too. You can do that too once you start progressing and investing on your tools. So it started off with 0.4.
I think some of our viewers are confused with the perspective, but what directions the chisel facing?
For the chisel, remember, a chisel usually has the chisel is shaped as this. It's shaped like that, guys. So especially with BMC, the wave ones, MadWorks, it's shaped like this. It's chisels like that. So what I do, if this is the surface of the plastic, I drag my direction that way. You don't do it that way. If you're creating lines, you drag. you go that way. It's not going that way. I do chisel, the real chisel usually do that if I want like a correct that.
Mm-hmm.
Then I cut that off to do this to create like the notch that I did.
Yes, yes.
That's when I'm doing notches. I do it this
That's
and
when
I
you go
clean
forward.
it off. Yeah,
Yes.
I create notch doing that and I clean it off. Then again, I do lines. But when you're creating lines, chisel work usually is drag. Okay, with God hand, wave, BMC. This is the direction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the common mistake. But with a needle, if you wanna like start, as I said, go with a needle. Direction is just on comfort. Just don't do that. Like vertical, I try to like go on at least less than 90 degrees for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on your comfort. And it matters that you have your hand supported every time. You don't want to like holding it up in the air doing that. That messes you up in terms of
you have to find
have to,
a
like,
stable environment.
yeah, stable, put a vice, you hold them with a vice, that's better.
Which is better, BMC or MadWorks?
Personally, I like BMC. MadWorks, I've used them a lot on resin kits. So they are like they are more forgiving in a way on softer plastic. But I don't use my MadWorks on hard plastic or commonly for Gunpla. I use BMC and Hasegawa or Wave. My MadWorks I use a lot on my garage kits, yeah, resin kits, stuff like that. So, going now with drills, as I said, the drills that you have to start on scribing are just straights, my friends. Do straight. If you cannot go away from straights yet using like a standard ruler,
Don't skip.
I suggest please don't skip it. Drill yourself to do straights first. Then you can go again on doing lines now. So the next step would be I'd go like I'd sketch a line, for example. We'll go that here, there. Okay? So, most common one is by the way,
Wait, what pen is this that you're using, in case they're wondering?
I have my own Gundam mechanical pencil. Only at Otaku ME. Yeah. So, you have 1, 2, 3 corners already, right? That you'll have to think of. Most common or basic ones is you put a pilot hole or a pilot pin on where you want to stop your scribe. So I pick that. This one is just a standard protractor or compass needle. But going back, this one has the needle. This I use pretty much everywhere. When I'm doing my scribing, I use this to like do my corners, to like mark where I want to stop. Okay? You want to mark where you stop so you don't have to like overscribe. There.
And it kind of stops it automatically.
Yeah,
It gives you the you feel that you have to stop exactly. Because there's a big tendency that you overscribe if you don't have that.
So let's try that if it's effective, as I said. So that will be my marking. I'll go there, mark. See, immediately I can feel where I want to like really do my stop scribe. Thanks. There you go. Then I go that way. Can you see it? Sorry guys, I have to like make do with the angles of the camera, so it's getting difficult for me.
Guys, if it's hard for you to see, let us know so we can adjust it here. If you can't hear us, let us know as well. So we can shout.
Shout.
You have to wear these masks. you know.
And with angles, usually T-squares can only give you right angles, right? I have like a protractor that can do your angles that goes like that. That helps. Or you can, let's go with this. Scribing tape.
Hi, Dexter.
There you go. Okay. Still 0.4. One question that I've been having is how many times can I use my scribing tape? Because most of us are like, yeah, you want to save your tapes.
Yeah. Recycling them.
So, if I'm using it for like straight lines, maximum I can use it until 3, as long as still gets that tack.
And scribing tapes are thicker than
Yes,
usual
the usual.
tape. Yes.
You want that thickness because this is the one that it's stopping or like
Yeah.
guiding you through your lines. So, I'm showing you guys how I use a scribing tape.
They're asking that maybe we can put some panel line so they can see
Yeah, I will.
better. Yep.
So, I think I'm on my 3rd already.
I can see where you're saying that muscle memory is very important. It's
Yeah.
very easy to like overscribe or
Yeah.
make a mistake
Have you
if
been
you're
counting?
not used to it.
Have you been counting while I was scribing?
No.
1, 2, you're wrong.
The rhythm is very important.
One thing that we did the pilot one is it keeps your corners sharper too. This one I was just rushing, but it helps you make your corners when you stop or like transition to the next angle cleaner. I'm just going my cleanups already because I've done my scribing. I'm just doing cleanups because I removed the tapes already.
Pido is now watching.
Hey, Pido, Master Scriber is here. He's the one that I really like his scribe lines. Very clean. How's the Philippines, bro? Okay, then again. Let's do the cleanup. Here's my brush. So now I'll do another line. Let's see with this one. Huh? This is difficult because this is the one that we tried with the fine lines. I'll just let this one dry, then I can sand it off, then show it to you guys.
It's very satisfying to watch panel line action
Yeah, go like
through
that.
the
Huh?
lines.
Okay.
Can you use a normal cutter to cut the excess knob on the gunpla part?
Normal cutter, yes, but it can only give you at that level of cleanup.
Yeah.
You still have to like sand it up. If you
Yeah.
want it clean, sandpapers.
Sandpaper. Doesn't sanding get stuck in the scribe lines though?
It will get stuck on the scribe lines. That's why I always have like this one for camera, like a brush. But the most common one that we use is like an old toothbrush. So you go deep. there,
Yes. Because some of it, this brush alone wouldn't just.
Yeah, it
cut
won't clean
like,
because you need a stiffer brush than this.
Exactly.
So one is if you're doing scribing, I assume that you're gonna paint your models. So before you do any paint job, give your models or like modified parts a good
cleaning,
cleanup.
Yeah.
Water, soap, clean them, dry them, start painting. Then after that, you still have to like do your double checks, right? When you're because it's easy to miss something when you're doing your scribing. Sometimes you'll have to fill like lines. You create extra like a mistake on the corner. Sometimes you do touch up and you still have to go back. But if it's like a personal kit, you don't. You just need to like practice. By all means, just enjoy the hobby. Practice. So let's do that. I think I did the cleanup with my fingers. See? There you
Another
go.
trick. You taught them another trick.
So there you go. There's the difference of different lines or drills that you can do to practice holding your scribers. That's the normal one. Like going back, hook type, tick. If you wanna like do bases, drills on like flat surfaces, I go with that. Clean lines for 144, I go there. That's the second one here. Third will be 0.4. There you go, 0.4. Okay. And a combination of a notch there with 2.0 when I did this notch. Remember, on my sketch, I did that. Clean up, then line. Okay? When you're doing this, you need a proper guide tape. Okay? So basically, that's the one on drills here. Now you go. You have any questions, Paulo?
Let's check here. None so far. I think we've addressed all the questions so far.
Okay.
We can move on to next
to
part.
like one common trick in Gunpla is templates, right? So I'll do templates here, for example. The last one, don't worry, I'll do it on a real one.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just do this one quickly. Maybe I'll use square.
And these templates come in all sorts of shapes already.
Yes.
So pretty much any pattern that you can think of,
Yep.
like basic shapes, you have that with it.
Yes, and we have, these are actually sets from Hasegawa, tri-tool set. So they have this ones, you know. That's Hasegawa tri-tool. Sometimes they also have that for curved surfaces. I use this a lot. It's already curved. So when I bend that, I have actually a straight line. And this is riveting guide for aircrafts. I use that too. When you can see, I don't know if you can see those ones. This has rivet. So when you do-
Mr. Kais is trying to come up with a bit of a shortcut here. Is there a tip for creating a mirror image of a complex pattern, scribe pattern on the other side?
Yes, there is, sir. Like common ones. The technique, if I want to recreate this one, I should have like, man, I should have. For For example, this one, I'll do, I'll answer that. You create templates.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is like a design that you really want to like replicate on like a skirt, for example, left and right, I do templates using flat plate.
And you can reuse and reuse that
Yes,
to...
same as the one that you did the jigs with. Some jig, for example, this is my part. The jig that I'll have to do, instead of just a straight, I'll use a pattern that goes with my design. Then that's my jig template already. So I can scribe my lines, go through it past like 4-5 times as a jig. Then I can let go of that jig, go deeper and clean up with your line. So the only way you can do that is jig. Second, tape, masking tape. Okay? You already did the perfect line here and you forgot to like replicate it with, for example, a jig. Right? So I'll take my, do we have a masking tape there, please? See? Our support are very fast. Thank you guys. Shout out to Boss Omel. Thank you for the masking tape. See? One technique is I need a thicker tape actually. You can replicate that line by going through your scribe lines. Right? Tape that on a
on the other side.
On the other side, cut
and follow through.
and follow through. Then you have a mirror. Like I'll cut this one, I'll have that mirror. Okay?
You just have to be careful on the placement.
Yes.
Make sure it's placed the right way.
So that's the reason why most the guys that I've seen do clean panels is they use measurements.
Yes.
Like
exact
this line
measurements.
is 15 mm. They'll go the angle at like 35-degree angle. Then they go 10 on that. So they count. Or most common practice for us is use your squares.
Oh, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you haven't like really you're not comfortable doing your measurements, right? When you're doing squares like that, equal squares with a ruler, just count how many lines. You can comfortably say that would be my line 3 squares horizontal. That would be my line vertical 1, 2, 3, 2. Then I'd connect 1, 2, 3. See, you're learning on how to do lines. So as I said, when I was doing this one, when you're investing, for sure you'll only have one line. Your drills, right? You start doing your drills. Lines, 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 lines on flat plates, flat surfaces. Then the next one, this is your thickness. The next upgrade is when you have like more chisel. You'll do notches for a combination line. For example, this is like 0.2. Then when you angle it this way, that will be 0.5.
Nice, yeah.
Right? 0.1, then that will be 0.5, or then you go 0.3. Then after those line combinations, you can actually like add another like 0.5 here. Then I'll use a flat plate to detail it inside. That will be your latch, light, or I can do like antenna, right? And that creates layers. When you're modifying any kit, or not scale models, you modify scale models as per the real ones, unless you're into sci-fi. So these add layers. As I always say, layers are not the flat surfaces. When you're doing scribing, those are not layers for me personally. these are like separations, lines only
Yes,
to add like details. It's not a layering detail.
Because it's still the same.
It's still on the same.
Yeah.
That you do a lot of lines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Create multiple lines. You've done that in 3 months, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and you start painting it. You'll see that it's still on the same plane.
I understand. Yeah.
And it will look like it's still bland. So you'll start adding flat plates, detail
create
layers, and
more.
you're creating more visual
You
depth.
can add more.
Yeah, and we will teach you on that. Just follow us on the workshop.
We'll get there.
We'll
Not
get there.
today, but we'll get there. And
So, any
they
more
don't
question?
have to be symmetrical all the time.
No.
Like they can be asymmetric, like
Yes.
a different panel on the other side, a different on the other side.
Why not? What's stopping you to do it?
Exactly. Be creative.
Be creative.
Gunpla is freedom.
Well, no. No. So, just like a Zaku, for example, asymmetrical, a good
Mhm.
example is this.
Yeah, exactly.
Right shoulder, shield. That one is a battering ram.
Yeah, like a spike shoulder
Yeah.
pad.
See? But now, any more questions?
Yes, sir, guys. Omer is actually here, so he's with us physically and virtually.
It's
Making
like
some
we need the masking tape, then the masking tape
He
comes
was
on
like masking tape.
masking tape. So,
maybe we can start with scribing on
yes.
the.
So
Mhm.
this one will be our like test dummy, right? As I said, I'll start modifying this one. Same kit to show you guys the progress of the modifications on every tutorial. We'll keep using this one. It'll be Frankenstein, but you'll love the tutorial.
Yeah, you'll see the progress
Yeah.
on this guy.
Yeah, we'll Frankenstein this Zaku up. So I'll start doing the most basic like scribing. Straight, parallel.
Mhm.
Okay?
A basic pattern that they can.
Yeah, they can follow,
They can
yeah?
follow.
So you see, I already have like points on where to connect.
That's already an added.
Yeah, it's an added bonus. Oh, hey, there you go. 4 notch. It's already as per the kit, right? I'm gonna like connect this 4.
Mhm.
Just the most basic one. I was trying to like do a pattern here.
That's
but
great. Like already use what the
I'll use
design
this.
on the
Yeah.
kit itself.
I'll use this instead of doing it here.
Mhm.
I'll use it here and show you how I use templates. Okay? So, without further ado, here it is. I'm gonna use this because it creates my right angles already, right? I can also use tape, but this one for me creates more stability.
Mhm.
So again, go with your comfort levels.
Yes.
I'm gonna use 0.2. 0.2, then suddenly I go with 2.0.
Guys, be careful. 0.2 and 2.0 are different.
2.0. Okay, let's do.
Ali is asking if we have any tips to add, where to add describing lines. I think we'll discuss that on a future segment. We're
Yeah.
actually like not everyone can actually come up with a pattern or a design. So you'll give us tips
The
on
best
that.
one to answer Ali is, as Mr. Kais also mentioned, if you're not comfortable doing it mentally on like I want to add lines here, start sketching on your models
Exactly,
with
yeah.
just pencils, because these are easily like you can like wipe it down. Just pencil, start doing lines, and I'm pretty sure once you start learning or started scribing, you'll overscribe your kits. Everywhere you want scribe
You
lines.
want to add more.
Yeah.
Like maybe I can add some more here, add some more here. I think
That's 100%
That's
yeah.
always like the case.
Same
when
with
you're starting
weathering.
out,
They
yeah.
want to like start doing what?
Too much
Everyone. So let's go. That's 0.2. I'm using now it's way. And I'll use another brand, so there's multiple ones.
Hi Theodore from Philippines. He
Hey,
said
hi.
The stream is awesome. Hi guys. How are you
Nice.
guys there?
Thank you. Thank you for the support, guys.
Guys, if let us know what else do you want to like, what kind of topics you'd like us to cover on our future streams. Let us know in the comments. You can always message us. So We'd love to like discuss things that most of you are interested in. Going back to Sir James.
See, I've done my first pass. Doing my cleanup now. I skewed it. Sorry.
Yeah, newbie question. While I'm doing that and I accidentally made a mistake
Mm-hmm.
and I had a line going across.
Sand it off.
Just sand
fill
it off.
Yeah, sand it off.
Okay.
Fill it up.
Great. Or buy a new kit.
That can be do.
There you go.
See, with kits, immediately you can see like your lines if you've done that correctly. And I hope, is it focused? You can see it, guys. How many viewers now? For the 36, 41 guys that are still
41.
here, thank you for like
Thank you for staying with us, guys. I hope you're learning a lot. And yeah, talk to us. Send us your questions, suggestions, negative reactions.
hopefully no.
We're open to everything. So yeah, let us know what you guys think.
Okay, so that you can see the line. Okay, then I'll
And guys, share the live stream. Like share it to your friends, your family that's also into the hobby. So
use a jig now. See, that's to connect that one. I'll use 0.4.
jigs are very useful.
Yep, I agree.
So you can actually create a lot of it and keep like different sizes. So
Yeah.
for all the like the patterns that you need.
I think when the jigs came out online, like
Mm.
everyone started fabricating their jigs. It was so fun. Then some guys like designed 3D printed jigs already, made it a business.
Selling jigs on
Yeah, selling jigs.
By the way, guys, by the end of the stream, we'll tell you how you can win this free kit from Otaku ME. Try Burning Gundam. It's a high grade from the Build Fighter series. So we'll let you know how you can win this kit right towards the end. So please stay with us. And keep on sharing, guys, okay?
Hey, that's a clean line. Nice, I like it. That's a 0.2. That's a 0.4. Okay? By the way, if you have any suggestions on how to like properly scribe, if you have like learned the technique one or two, please share it with us. We learn together, you know. Some of the guys here are masters on scribing. Please share your techniques too.
Yeah.
Just comment below. Pido, ano pong, you
Yeah,
guys
I
there.
guess
Man,
they need to understand that there's like different ways of doing
That's
it.
what
That's what's great about the hobby. There are different ways. You just have to find the technique or the way that you're more comfortable with. So if you saw someone doing it like slightly different, there might be more comfortable doing it that way. Feel free to try it out, experience it, and you yourself you'll decide like which way you're more comfortable with. Ron is asking the suggested tool for beginner. What was your suggestion for
the suggested tool for
the
beginner.
Hasegawa, sorry?
If you already have the basic tool set, the scriber, the pointer scriber, that can help you well. That you can start on that if you're just like starting. But if you want like an upgrade level on that already, I'd go on and suggest the wave scriber like chisels. wave chisels, and that the Hasegawa tri-tool pointed scriber. This I can attest to that 100%. It won't fail you. It's just like proper handling of tools, guys. Everything here that we're showing is not when you buy like a tool. Is you'll do
You don't get the skills with it.
yeah. So you invest on time. That's what we always say here at Otaku ME. If you're really into the hobby or passionate about the hobby, invest on your tools. One, if you upgrade on your skill set, invest on your tools. And what's next? Be patient.
Be patient.
Give it time.
Exactly. And I guess don't be demotivated. Like, you're gonna mess up. Expect that you're gonna mess up. Everyone messed up. I think Sir James messed up a lot when he was starting out. Or
Not-
no? You didn't?
No. Here's the thing.
Just kidding.
I messed up a lot more than what I can say.
Yes.
Like I like this build. That's the thing. I practically,
True.
I like this line now. I'll maybe in the next 2 years I'll practically like hate this line. So
Yeah, because you'll get better by then. And
Yes.
then you'll realize that you had a lot of flaws on that particular line that you did like 2 years ago.
the more you build, the more you complete your build. That will like raise your skill sets.
Exactly. Build.
Build and keep building.
Some suggestions for future videos: molding parts. So
Molding parts.
we can look into that. A little bit advanced.
On this setup, like molding, I'd probably say attend our classes. If we're like gonna do it, like that requires like a classroom because if you're molding part, you'll be handling chemicals. So it's another.
It has
how
to be
say-
more hands-on, I
Yeah,
guess.
more hands-on, more controlled, more on a classroom setting.
Yes.
So we'd love to do that for you guys. Just stay tuned on our like pages.
We'll see what we can do.
We
We'll
will see what we
definitely-
can do, or probably do a write-up or a video and on a more controlled environment. We'll try to do that for you guys.
And Scott, yeah, definitely we'll talk more about painting. Scott has already been here several weeks,
Yep.
trying to learn like airbrushing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely go more about the process of painting and weathering. So watch out for that. And yeah, whenever you come here, we're here to help you out. So we'll guide you to whatever you want to do with your model kit.
See, that's just like a normal. That's the basic ones. Before it was like 4 holes only. I tried to connect that one, and I'll try to like create details here. Like I'll add a notch.
I see. The difference that it makes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say those are just lines, but they make a lot of
Yes.
difference.
On a blank space, blank plastic.
Especially once you started painting it,
Yeah. Because
tracing the panel
before
line, yeah.
there was just this one,
Just
right?
a flat surface.
A
Exactly.
panel line actually serves as your guide in panel separations when painting too. That's why most of the guys that do heavy scribing is they use those as panel separations when they're painting.
Mhm.
So they can actually like divide their lines already during paint stages. But again, it's a lot of masking.
Yes.
So masking is another.
It's another skill on itself.
Yep. So there you go. That's a line.
I'm a
Then-
beginner. Any tips tutorial on water slide decals? Definitely.
Definitely we'll cover that
We'll
too.
cover that too.
So now I'm gonna do a notch here. Oops, sorry for the camera bump.
Guys, stay tuned. Stay with us until the end of the stream. So we'll announce how you can win a free kit. It's a Tri-Burning Gundam from the Build Fighter series.
There you go. Then I'll go with a cleanup. You see how I'm handling the chisel? I'm not really forcing it. I let the chisel work the plastic.
Do the work. Yeah.
Because once you start forcing it,
More chances of making a mistake.
yeah, it tends to like slip, or you'll have like wider lines. Doing scribing while having like a camera in front of me is new. So don't
You'll
ex-
get used to.
yeah, so don't expect like clean lines everywhere like competition pieces. Nope, not yet. Trying to learn too, together with you guys. So that's a notch. Is it visible? You can see it?
Yeah, yeah. Can be seen.
So let's do that on the other side. I'm gonna eyeball it. I call it mata-mata.
When you start tracing that with the panel line marker, what color would you suggest based on the color of the Zaku?
For like line checks, I don't
Mm.
really do this because
Mm.
it adds like clean ups for me.
Yes, yes.
Unless I'm doing a video tutorial or like a whip stage, covering my whip stages, then I'll do that.
Yes.
But mostly, I just retrace it with.
Retrace
Yeah.
it.
There. And again, a few tips on getting references. Guys, the web is like a gold
Yeah.
mine for references. We'll try to like
You have your Google,
yeah.
YouTube.
the next streams probably will feature some of like good works, builds, or
Mhm.
something like that, so you can get good references too.
Definitely.
Because references depends on what is the like skill set of the builder. Sometimes they are like really good at scribing. They're heavy into modifications, changing the forms of
Yeah.
like,
So every modular has their own
yes,
taste in a way. They have their
taste-
own signature way of doing it.
taste, or I call it identity of the modular sometimes, because they have their own build style. So build style, they do fine modifications, extensions, flat plates, scratch building, stuff like that.
What do you say is your own signature
My
style
signature,
for when you're doing like scribing?
I go with concepts probably, but with
Depends on the
scribing,
concept.
yeah, it depends on the concept. The crazier I get, the crazier the panel lines it will get.
Definitely, yeah.
So, yeah, as a closer now, this one I have a lock now. I think I'll call this one quick done. Go there. I'll close that up there.
And basically, if you practice your drills, this can be done already.
Yep.
So yeah, guys, scribing is
With that,
not that
you can already
intimate.
finish this one. Like I'm just doing like right angles,
Mm.
straights. So this is actually like
Just keep on doing your drills. Muscle memory is important, like what Sir James said. Imagine the potential of like what you can create.
true. that I went wider. Oh, see, I messed that up. But I'm not really going to like think about that. But the next one, I'm going to put flat plates to cover that one.
Very ingenious.
Very ingenious. Yeah.
Tim Harkins is watching us.
Tim?
Yeah.
Hey,
This
Tim.
guy James is really good.
Thanks, Tim.
You're not too bad either, Tim.
Yeah. Tim is the master of
Yeah,
like
if you guys don't
scribing.
know, Tim is child of Mecca.
Yes, master of scribing. And Tim also introduced this one, jigs too. Ah, blunder, but yeah, I like it. I think we're done, Paolo. I have my lines. I do my clean. Up there.
That's amazing. The difference from when it was just like a flat surface with no detail.
Then to show.
As it is, that already works. You can
Yep.
add your decals in there.
I'll paint this kit too, guys, as we progress on the workshops, live streams, and stuff like that. I'll do painting tutorials too. There you go. So what I did is just connect the 4 existing holes to create my lines. Then that creates another depth of detail. So I'll separate all this with colors and add a layer of flat plate. The next step, we'll do flat plating probably, like adding layers and stuff like that. So
We'll see. We'll see.
let's see. So
That's
lines,
amazing.
lines, notch, panel separation. See, you can actually do panel separations with scribers and stuff like that. I did panel lines on notch for a lock, then a separation here because I have a different plan on like extending this one maybe, like thicker here to mount pieces of grenades or stuff like that. So let's see.
But when they're starting out, sir, I guess a good tip will be not to overdo it.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. And start with, as I said on the first minutes of the stream, start with flat surfaces. When you transition from doing it on practice runs on flat plate, then you want to transition to your kits already, start with flat surfaces
Yes.
until you get comfortable using your
Your
tools, your
Yeah.
scriber. Maintain a scriber that you can say, this one will be my go-to. And you can only say that after a few try and mistakes already.
Exactly.
Like, my go-to is this needle and like BMC. But I never have like thought that I'll go to BMC until I tried it like multiple times. Like, because it adds another depth of layer because of the width chisels. They have a lot, including Madworks, like waves and stuff like that. Once you start going, transitioning from different widths, then that creates more ideas, concepts in terms of like doing lines. Because kits are actually like multiple lines. They're not only one line, if you can see. They're different lines. Different lines, different thickness. So that you'll learn as you try, build.
Yes.
Scribe.
Keep on practicing, definitely.
So, any more questions that you want to say?
No more questions. So we're about to end the workshop. I hope you guys learned a lot. Any things that they need to remember when scribing, just like a few pointers that to take home once they practice later.
Okay. Going back, first few minutes, there's 3 or 4. Proper tool handling. Okay. Proper tool handling the proper tool or the scriber that you're gonna practice with. Start drilling yourself on that single scriber. Every
Yes.
time you have the chance,
Yes.
scribe. So that third is your, how to say, the guide. Whichever you're comfortable with, a template, a thin template, masking.
I guess investing on the
Yes,
tape, the
yes,
scribing tape.
The
is really,
scribing
yeah.
tape matters because you need that to be really stable. You can't do clean lines if you don't have a proper termination or guide. So that's the third.
Not unless you're like level 99999 scriber.
Nah, there are guys that can do that. So going back, tools, handling of tools, guide. Right? And the most important one that goes on like thumbs up, do your like research, patience. Keep doing, drilling yourself to do it.
Tips on practicing later. So drills.
Drills, flat plates,
Buy your flat plate.
just
Keep on doing again and again and
don't
again.
throw, even when you're doing scratch building projects or like bases, don't keep this because these are my practice plates. I keep doing patterns. Once you start doing your lines, start doing your angles and patterns.
Yes.
That's the next step. So you'll progress. You just don't go with straight. So just to show you, before and after, right? As promised. Before, after. Describe. So I think there's like a question for this one connected to the giveaway. Tolo, you wanna?
Yes. So we did mention that we're giving away a free kit, but before we ask you a question and then the first one that gets the answer wins it. This time
It's different.
It's different.
We'll put a little twist on it.
It's not to put more pressure on you or make it harder for you, but we want you to like try out the lesson that we have learned. So at home, do the practices, do the techniques, the tips that Sir James have imparted during this live stream. Make your own. What is it?
I'd say.
Would you say a pattern itself?
A pattern
or
means like
a simple
just
pattern?
A simple pattern. I'd say if you can zoom in, Mickey. The one that we're requesting the guys is just do this. One straight line.
Not exactly this. They
Not
can
exact-
do their own.
Do your own. Do your
Yes.
pattern. One line. One simple line and a notch. That's, I keep repeating the notch, right? So one line and a notch. That's it. If you send us through the comments on
It's better if you send us through like our Facebook Messenger. So
or
try it.
probably
or-
we'll
or
try
the
to
comments.
we'll try to post this.
Yeah, we'll create a post for
For
this,
this,
and
and comment
then you comment there.
Right? Guys, is
Eh.
it fair?
But
But
those level 99999 scribers,
yeah.
guys, we know who you are. Please.
Pido, you can join you
Those
can
guys are banned.
Yeah.
Otaku ME staff are banned.
So the guys that want to start on scribing, we encourage you to join that like mini challenge to start you on that first step. If you don't get that first step on like scribing, you'll never learn
Exactly.
scribing.
The first
So
step
this
is the most important.
This is the challenge.
So yeah, take a
One-
part of your kit
Yeah.
and then just go ahead, sir.
Yeah. That's the thing. Just one line and one notch. That's the one that
Just
we're
a simple
requesting.
pattern.
Okay? So to challenge you
Yeah.
on like getting on that first step. And one more tip, by the way, I forgot. I have this just one here. You want to learn on like a kit, for example, right? The fastest way to learn scribing on a surface like this requires you to have tapes, right? But I learned my scribing just using the parts of the existing kit. For example, I'll just show you. Okay? You see that trace detail? I have my guide already, right? That's a race panel, race detail on adjuster. I'd use that actually as my guide. Yeah. If you just want to learn, use the existing pattern, use the existing race details of your kit. Then you can create or practice your notches, your lines. See? That's one last tip I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
And same as the Zaku, you're using pre-existing
Yes.
details on your kit to
That's the reason why I
to
said
help
it's
you.
gonna be the basic. Use the
Yes.
existing form, use the existing lines that your kit already have. That's the first step on like studying your lines. When you're going to like advancing on your skill set, probably you'll take like a blank. You'll think of that as a blank canvas. And go through like lines and create your own intricate patterns. Like I can mention like tons of modelers like that from blank space. Once painted, they looks amazing.
Yes.
And one of our friends, like Tim, is one of the guys that
Dave
do
is
that.
saying, I'll try that out on my metal build.
Oh, what are you gonna use on your metal build? Salute on you. Dave, salute on you guys. Okay, we're cutting it off, guys. So
So yeah,
challenge.
guys, so we'll create a post for this challenge. So we'll just show it here. So we'll create a post for the challenge. Send your entries on the comments. You have until, we'll give them like a week.
Yep.
A week?
A week.
Yeah.
A week,
Next
a week.
Friday, you have until the next workshop will most likely be next Friday. But we will be announcing it
Yeah.
on our Facebook page, on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channels. So comment on that post that we will be making.
Yep.
And the best one, I guess, what are you looking for, sir? The fundamentals.
Fundamentals. Just concentrate on the basics.
The
basics
basic,
are your foundations on how to like improve your skill set. And don't ever compare yourself to another good modeler. For example, everyone has their own pace. You know, you have your own pace on how like if you can only have 5 minutes of your time, give it time. If you don't have, well, at least every now and then you practice. So everyone has their own pace. That's the thing. But practice and drill yourself on the basics. Cleanups, guides, that's it.
So guys, we're looking forward to your entries. We'd love to see your entries, and we want to see you practicing at home. One more thing, watch out for the live streams. There will be a lot of live streams that will be going on. Tutorials, workshops, new item arrivals, highlights, everything about the hobby to give back to the community and to I wouldn't say revive, but
Let's say.
to get more people to
Especially
get
during
into the
these hard
hobby.
times, you know.
Exactly. And guys, watch out. There's something exciting that's happened. We just had a new shipment from Tamiya
Yeah.
and Bandai.
Okay. We'll be posting that soon.
Tomorrow, Saturday, at exactly the same time, we'll have a highlight. A live stream will be highlighting our new Tamiya products.
Okay.
And on Sunday, we'll be highlighting our deals of the week and the new Bandai items.
Watch out for
watch
that.
out for that.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Okay.
And yeah, thank you guys for
Thank you.
staying
And-
with us
And
all
if you
throughout
can
the
see the
stream.
screen,
have
Paulo already
some-
have that target lock, so we're closing it already.
Go now. Right.
So,
Thank you guys.
Bye.
We'll see you guys
Thank
next
you.
time. And always remember,
think outside the kit.
kit.